It's black, and it's not six black, splack, slack, nothing else, just black. Bonjour, je m'appelle Black, and this is Komini. The Free Black album represents a time period where I was in a really tough growing space. I felt like a little bit confined, but my ideas and my dreams and my goals were a lot bigger than the space that I was in. So it was about feeling a little bit boxed in, but knowing that in order to break out of it, I had to work hard and apply myself and dedicate myself and trust myself. Yeah, it was really a monochromatic era. That's why it's black and white, because everything felt a little bit muted during that time period. So yeah, Free Black was the black and white version of who I was, and growing up allowed me to express color. This next post is the cover for Iselena Love Letter. It is me standing in the kitchen. I have 6 in a baby carrier, microphone, and studio set up in front of me. This album was pivotal in, also getting me to where I am today. It was about fatherhood. It was about really facing all of my fears. And it was about learning how to express myself even more through music. So if the first post was me expressing myself from a one-dimensional standpoint, then this album is me opening up to perspective and realizing that I'm not always right. There's room for improvement. My love life has been lackluster up until this moment, so now it's time to grow that up. And my songwriting changed from blaming other people, for my issues, to looking at myself and seeing what I could do better. The creative scene in Atlanta is like a melting pot. You get a little bit of everything. So growing up there, you have access to the coolest lingo, you have access to the coolest music, you have access to the coolest wardrobe, sides of town, food. There's so many different things in the city to pull from. So when you're growing up, in a creative hub like Atlanta, it's very easy for you to transfer that into whatever it is your art medium is.
And I'm getting money, so the bank I enter. Caught so much ice that he felt like winter. Jewels on my neck like the Bird Gang member.
Yeah, I remember that. This was before anybody outside of my area knew who I was. This is during the time period where anytime people would have music video shoots or events in Atlanta, I would just pull up with a group of people who I knew, and our way of introducing ourselves to people would be just by rapping. And you start rapping, people walk over, they check out what's going on. So during that moment, the Rich Kids and Thug were having a video shoot. We pulled up, we're all wearing our logo, looking like some kind of mob or team. And we just walked up to them and started rapping. And the internet has always kind of phrased that as a battle rap moment, but it was more so just me introducing myself in a way that I know how to introduce myself, versus being hey, my name's so-and-so, and da-da-da-da. It would more so be I'm just gonna rap. That's normally how I would make my presence known, because I'm not really a talkative, in-your-face type of person. It's more so just I like to let art speak for me. So I was introducing myself, that's all that was. Update: debut album platinum, sophomore album soon to be, and a lot of records sold. Soundtrack to my life and to some of yours too. Thank you for life. To me, success is being able to translate a purposeful message to an audience, and for that to be received and for you to see the results of it. So for me, it's always been about making music that means something to me, and hoping that that music touches other people and helps inspire them to do something better in their life. So for me, success, I measure it by the impact that I have on people and the positive effects that my music can have on people. I think there are plenty of other things in the industry to make a mark or measure by. You can measure money, you can measure streams, you can measure any kind of statistics, but the real currency is actually helping people through hard times, and continuing to help myself through hard times as well. All right, this is March 18th, 2021. Ancestors smiled on me with some little heart emojis around a blushing face. Ancestors smiled on me just means that I feel when I'm in my purpose and I'm executing what I'm supposed to be doing in my life, that there's somebody from my lineage in the past that is kind of overseeing me and thinking good job, you're really doing your version of maybe what they tried to do back in the day. I think that it's cool that I learned some people in my family were musicians before I was born, great-grandfathers and great-granduncles and all kinds of stuff. But, to never have had a conversation with them, but to have a connection through what we all kind of enjoyed, for me, makes me realize that whatever I'm doing right now, if they can see me, then they would be really impressed and proud. And finally, we're back. March 2023, Since I Have a Lover. Oh, back, pronounced back. Yeah. Number 6 has been a reoccurring number in my life. I took liking to it just kind of growing up. It was my favorite number. I gravitated towards it. I was born in the 6th month. My life path number was 6 once I got into spirituality and numerology. My daughter's name is 6. I grew up on the east side of Atlanta, which is called Zone 6. So it was just something that just kept popping up. And if anything like continues to pop up for me, I just make it mine. Like if I see anything that's reoccurring, I like to find meaning in it and figure out, what it is for me. So I've been Black, like my name 6LACK, since MySpace days, middle school days. I never changed my name. I never felt the need to change my name. This was also during a time where people were replacing like a lot of different characters with numbers and symbols and things. So it made sense during the time, and it's just mine. I feel like I might have kicked the door open for hard to pronounce names. And I love to just continue to own something that means a lot to me, and to continue to teach people at every single show that it's Black, and it's not 6 Black, Slack, nothing else, just Black. The first offering from my new album, Since I Have a Lover, is out now. Happy to be back. Thank you to everyone who helped put this together, from the music to the visuals. It's all my good moods compressed into song format, and I hope it makes you feel. Since I Have a Lover, link in bio, with the video clip of the first video that we released from the album. Since I Have a Lover for me has been even broader than just like romance. I try not to make it just about, being in love with somebody. And as you navigate through the album, you see that there's a lot of self-love in there, and there's a lot of like patting myself on the back and reassuring myself that, whether it's in your relationship, romantically, whether it's in family relationships, friendships, you are starting to enter a phase of life where you are fixing things and tightening things up and seeing like the really good results of therapy, taking care of your body, of having a good diet, having a good routine. For people to get that feeling of like romance, or it makes me want to like do something good, I think that was always the purpose of it. It was, how do I figure out how to paint a picture of things that make me feel good to a crowd that might be used to me painting the opposite picture. It was, how do we take something that feels good and make it cool? Baby picture of me from maximum like 2 years old, maybe like 1 or 2. I always hope, that people get growth from the music that I make. From the very first time that I ever made a song, I was about 3 or 4 years old. And one of the first lines that was on the song was, when I grow up, I'm gonna be somebody, and I'm gonna believe in God, and I'm gonna believe in me. It kept like going for a second, but the overall message of it was just like being that young and being aware that life can be really, really cool if you just like believe in yourself. And carrying that message from 4 years old into my young adulthood, being in high school, being in middle school, and knowing what I wanted to do, and also having to deal with people not really seeing the vision sometimes, whether it be teachers or friends, and continuing to just like push through that to make it to where I am today is like a testament to the fact that this growth is not like an exclusive thing. It's not something that like I own or like a select few people in the world can have access to. It's something that we all have in us, and I only hope that my music can push people towards like being the biggest, best version of themselves. A gift from me to you for rest, relaxation, living through everyday stressful situations, or even a little meditation. Since I Have a Lover, the album, reimagined in collaboration with Endo Sound. Mostly everybody right now is kind of doing like sped up albums, slow down albums, acapella, instrumentals, and all of those things are wonderful. But to really like put purpose into reimagining an album and to make it like for sleep and for relaxation and for rest and for stress relief and meditation was really, really dope for me. Yeah, I think it's necessary. I think like it's always been the cool thing to talk about everything else, money, drugs, whatever else. Like those have populated popular music for long enough, and I'm not sure if it'll ever change, but I think each artist has a responsibility in some sort of way to offer something like that calms people down or relaxes people or makes people feel good. So the Andre album is also one of my favorites. I kind of rotate my Endo Sleep album and his Flute album, and I think it's amazing that he decided not to rap.
Omni!